All right, so I'm very excited to show the world this, especially the Ford guys. So, for anybody that has a 7.3 liter IDI, there's a vacuum pump that goes here that I'm going to show you next. The vacuum pump you can buy for about $170 to $210 Canadian, depending on your discount, plus a core charge. But you cannot buy the pulley. The pulley is discontinued. And I'll explain why that's a pain in the ass if you don't already understand that. Without the pulley, buying a pump is useless. You still need a pulley. I tried to pull the pulley off of my pump. Just doing that alone, 4 mechanic shops turned me down. Couldn't get their puller around it. I don't know. I watched it with my own eyes. I couldn't figure it out. So, long story short, I bought a new vacuum pump, even though mine worked fine, just so it came with no pulley, so that I could try what you're about to see next. Now, I know in the first minute there, some of you might think that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you that I've probably tried your avenue that you might be thinking. So the best video I saw on the internet already, the gentleman was using a snap-on puller and installer, power steering pump puller installer. That is the required tool. Everyone that tried to take this off couldn't get their piece, like the fitting, around this because of the ridge that is formed here, which I don't know is if it is stock or if it got damaged evenly and pressed in, but this will not come off. I've been told by 4 different mechanic shops. One of them is a good friend of mine. The other 3 were randoms. I offered to pay money and they can't get this off. So my next stop was a machinist, because this is obsolete. You can buy these, you can't buy this. This doesn't come with a pulley, so you kind of have to source a used one, or have a machinist make you one. What I have found out, so this pump works, but I have to buy a new one because I can't get this off. New pump. Make sure it's similar. Yep. Okay. This is a pulley. Part number is Dorman 300-700. And this pulley is, I believe, for a GM motor. It's a different part number altogether. They are roughly the same size. This has no lip. So your first thought is, okay, well, won't the belt track off because there's no lip? There's a pulley directly under this on the engine that has a lip. So myself, including several other mechanics, we're pretty sure that this is going to work just fine. And if so, this is going to be a game changer, because they don't, like I said, they don't make these pulleys. So they do make this. This was $98, I believe, Canadian, before discount, maybe $110. And I'm going to press this on, install it, put the belt on, and run the engine. And if all works, post this in the Ford forum. I'm going to post this in the Ford forum and probably save a lot of people a huge headache, because I've been stuck on this for about 2-3 weeks now, trying to source someone to remove this pulley and somewhere to buy a pulley, both to no avail. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I only have this random Amazon pulley kit. I think I've never used it. I've also really only used a pulley or a puller system once. Just never really find myself needing to do it. Okay. So far, so good. Wish I had any idea what I was doing. Oh, and make sure when you're installing this, they tell you put all your bolts in, because once you have this in, you can't get the bolts through there. So it's a good thing I just caught myself. So I already started doing this because I was too embarrassed to figure it out on camera. But essentially I have, this is for like a steering wheel puller or whatever, I don't know. But I'm using it to keep a flat surface. I've got a lot of washers and a bolt, and I'm basically just driving this on by hand, watching it and holding it as I do it so that I know it's going on straight. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So you'll notice we've changed scenery. Basically, I can't press on that pulley all the way freehand, and I don't have a vise. So I mounted it to the engine to give me more leverage, and now I just have to get it on. It's about halfway on. And yeah, I've got this little rigged up, makeshift, setup of bolts. And I'm going to see if I can get this on. I don't have a place to put you guys, so I'm just going to try this out and I'll be back. Okay, this has to be a part of the video because I'm too proud of it. So the issue I was having, I had to obviously press this pulley on. I've got a makeshift, basically, I have a bolt. I started with a longer bolt and a socket as a spacer, and I threaded it on as much as I could. Once I felt I was getting too close to grounding out, I changed to a smaller bolt and just different various washers. But right now what I have is, I have two nuts on here, and the nut that's touching the bearing, I figured because it has enough pressure on it, if I put a wrench around this, I should be able to stop it from spinning, and that's exactly what's happening. I was able to press it on a little bit more, and I'm going to continue on with this. Okay, so I decided I'm going to show you guys, I guess, a little bit of what I'm doing. There we go. That sort of works, if you can see that. There. So this is just I don't know, man, just intuitiveness, I guess. I don't know. I just kept trying, and I didn't want to film the entire trying process. But I'm using this big wrench to hold the nut that's touching this, and that seems to be enough to allow me to spin the bolt. Definitely want to do this by hand. So freaking cool. Let me tell you though, you could just pay a shop probably $60, $70 and they would have done this for you. But it is really cool being able to figure out how to do it yourself. So, as you can see, it was a lot. It's a lot closer now. Yeah, the gap is definitely closing. So that's where we're at. I'm actually so hyped because it works, guys. It's done. It's on there. That's flush right there, as you can see. Flush. I did this all with a makeshift bolt. That pulley is not for this engine, and it's the right dimensions. Both the diameter of the both the inner diameter and the outer diameter, all of the measurements are the same. The thickness is the same. So all I have to do is hook up the belt and run the engine, which I will do. But there's going to be a big gap in between that happening that you guys won't see. It'll be the next clip. Yeah, I'm hyped. That's Dorman part number 300-700, I believe. I'll post it in the description. But that's insane because that's a obsolete pulley. They don't make them anymore.